Want to tell your friends what you like to do? By the end of this lesson, you will be able to do this and much more in Japanese. Minasan, konnichiwa, Sara desu. Today we're going to be working on lesson 13.4 from Adventures in Japanese. I'm excited to be working with you. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to describe what you like and don't like to do, be able to ask others what they like to do, and conjugate and describe verbs using koto or no. Okay, so now let's get into some vocabulary. Feel free to pause and fill out your vocabulary worksheet. Also, make sure to go over the Quizlet assigned for this lesson once this video is over. Okay, now we're going to get into the grammar. So these first two forms are exactly the same, except one takes ga suki desu and the other takes wa tanoshii desu. Here's some examples. Let's start with no instead of koto. Okay, I like to sing. First, find your dictionary form verb, sing, which is utao, and then add no and ga, and finally, suki desu. Utao no ga suki desu. It's pretty straightforward. Let's do one more. Answering questions is fun. This time we'll be using the bottom pattern. So this time we have an object, so that will come first before the verb. Shitsumon o, questions. And then your verb in dictionary form, kotaeru, and no wa. And finally, tanoshii desu. Shitsumon o kotaeru no wa tanoshii desu. Okay, and then to make this a question, you just add on the question particle ka. So, for example, instead of I like to sing, you change it to do you like to sing by adding ka. Utau no ga suki desu ka? Same with answering questions. Is answering questions fun? Shitsumon no kotaeru no wa tanoshii desu ka? Now let's move on to koto. Koto is typically more formal than no and is used more in writing than in speech. This is what it looked like for the last two examples. I like to sing becomes utau koto ga suki desu, and answering questions is fun becomes shitsumon no kotaeru koto wa tanoshii desu. So normally this is only used in writing. However, if a sentence ends with a verb, you want to use koto instead of no before the desu. Here's what that would look like. Your subject wa, then the verb in dictionary form, and koto desu. So let's work with some examples. So my hobby is writing. Let's start with the subject, which in this case is your hobby. Shumi wa. And then following the pattern above, we take our dictionary form verb, writing, kaku, and add koto desu. Shumi wa kaku koto desu. My hobby is writing. Let's do another more difficult one. My brother's hobby is reading Japanese books. So there's a lot more going on with this one, but let's start with the subject like we did before, which is now my brother's hobby. Ani no shumi wa. And as you can see, that already got rid of half of our sentence. So now we have an object, and that will go before the verb. So nihongo no hon, and verbing it, o. And now our dictionary form, yomu and koto desu. Ani no shumi wa nihongo no hon no yomu koto desu. So that's the grammar in a nutshell with a few examples. go ahead and take note that for these, instead of using suki desu and tanoshii desu, you can replace those with kirai and muzukashii, or other adjectives in the bottom one. So you can say you don't like something or something is difficult. And to turn these into a question, the one that we just did that ends with koto desu, it's the same process as before. You simply add the question particle ka. So for my hobby is writing, is your hobby writing would become 趣味は書くことですか? Let's practice. If you need any more time on any of these, feel free to pause the video. For the first one, please put the verb in its dictionary form. I've provided the verb in its Moss form. And the answer for this one, utaimasu, becomes utao. So my hobby is singing is 趣味は歌うことです. For this next one, do the same thing for 話します. And the answer to this one becomes 話す. 日本語を話すのは難しいです. Okay, now it's your turn. For this next question, recreate the sentence in Japanese. Do you like to read? This becomes 読むのが好きですか? And one more time, recreate the sentence. My hobby is speaking Japanese. This becomes 趣味は日本語を話すことです. Alright, so in this lesson, you should have learned how to describe what you like to do, be able to ask others what they like to do, and conjugate and describe verbs using koto or no. Also, don't forget to practice with Quizlet. Thank you so much for watching.